Hello and welcome. This is Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching. What's going on, freaks? There's Benny and Clancy. Hello, everybody. How's it going? What's going on? Sword Destin, you got a troll in there? Make sure to put your chat on live chat. It's Benny. We said that a long time ago, like 25 times now. Let's see. The name on that one screen says Buddy because I haven't changed it yet. Anyways, thought we'd go over do part 2 of the JonBenet Ramsey because you guys wanted me to do it. It is pretty interesting. Just looks like it's going to be one of those, another dead night though. 106 people. That's awesome. Got a couple updates in here though. Alright, we got an update on you remember Emma Ray? She was found missing. Long Island teen safe and alive after dad busted in to save her thanks to tipster and cops. The father of a Long Island teen who went missing for a month took to Facebook Saturday to thank the tipsters and cops that led him to his missing daughter. Remember the guy with all the tattoos? She's in a facility right now getting the help she needs and is safe, Frank Gervasi said of his daughter, Emma Ray 14, in a video he posted on Facebook just before 1 p.m. I'd like to thank the community for all the support that you gave us. It was social media videos and flyers that led to an anonymous tip from a woman that helped him find his daughter. The phone call I received was that she was on a boat in Islip, I guess. Maybe we put that in there. Yeah, so over here in this area, so maybe this is Islip. So I guess any one of these little areas. Said, adding he was initially skeptical. The lady who gave me the tip was afraid to get in the boat. Gervasi said he busted onto the boat in a marina near the White Cap Fish Market. Okay, now we put that in there. Yeah, right there. So right in this area. And retrieved his daughter. He said no one else was on the boat at the time. Persistency brought her home, Ramsey said, indicating there may be more than one person under investigation. He believes she has been with some dangerous people. MRA had run away from home at least once before and had some struggles in her life, Ramsey said. He said she is now being cared for in a hospital where she is detoxing. He declined to give any further details. The fact that she's safe and alive is amazing, Ramsey said. So there's the boat. Let's see if we can triangulate this a little bit. In this, must be right in this area. That one looks sort of good, but yeah, there's no it's right in this White Cap area here. Oh, it could be, I was thinking maybe that one, but that's pretty close. This building here is sort of right, but what it is like a building, and then there's another building right below it, kind of. Almost like that. I think that's it. Yeah, there we go. I guess that's why it's like almost like that, is because that's the building. So the boat's basically right here. Boat found here. See, look. See that right there? That one, and I think it's this. I mean, everything matches. The sides and doors, everything. See that? And then it would be in the water right there. Yeah, you can't really see it through there, but anyways, that's where she was found. So good news. I guess we'll have to figure out what it almost feels like it's trafficking. I mean, look at this boat here. That's probably a pretty expensive boat. And you know, like, what is she doing on that boat? And then she was knocking on doors at according to another document, or another article, she was knocking on doors. She was last seen walking out of her house without a jacket. Security cameras captured her knocking on doors at a Bohemia motel the next day. Right, and the Bohemia, so she, let's see, she lived right here, and then the motels are these three basically, but I think it's probably this one right here. This one really looks like a motel, so I think it's probably this one right here. She's knocking on doors. The other ones are like pretty high-end hotels. That's in Bohemia, and then she's found on a boat right there. But why was she knocking on doors? Probably wasn't feeling safe. But hey, you guys, we're doing another show here, so is there any chance you guys can help support the channel tonight? We're currently at 0. No new members, no nothing of any, no support whatsoever going on. And you guys know how this channel works, is I cover cases, you guys support the channel, and we do a lot of great things, and it allows me to keep doing the shows. All right, so if you have the ability to, I would appreciate it. I found Emma. Please give me some time, and then I will address the public. All right, so when he finally does that, I guess we'll... Oh, I mean, he did post on Facebook. Maybe I'll find that really quick. Hey, look at that. It's Just Bella gifted 5 memberships to Allison Christensen, J.K., Blue Skies, Travelcado, and Burpsy. Oh, yeah, right there. Frank. I wonder if he made his account. No, he's on there. All right, here we go. Hey, and thanks, Sword Destin. Not sure what's going on here. Let's play this.
Today is day 27, and I proudly am very happy to tell you guys that Emma Ray was found yesterday. She is home. She is in a facility right now getting the help she needs and is safe. That being said, there's a lot to discuss here on this video. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the community for all the support you guys gave us. Posting all the videos, pushing all the content, and donating flyers, donating your time to look for my missing girl. It is those things that are going to help bring other kids home. This is not just we did it for Emma and that's it. Those are the things that are going to help bring other kids home, which is going to lead me to other things I'm going to talk about in this video. So first and foremost,
how could you not have heard of it? We did a whole night where we went over it.
Almost thank the general public and the community across the country for supporting us and getting Emma back home safe. It was those social media videos and the flyers that helped me to get an anonymous tip yesterday, and I want to thank that person on this video. I'm not going to mention her name, for coming forward and giving me an information about my daughter. And the phone call that I received was that she was on a boat, an islip. I didn't want to believe at the time. I did follow that up on my own. I drove down there. The lady who gave me the tip was afraid to go in the boat, believed to be with some dangerous people, etc. I still wasn't sure if it was a legit lead or not. That being said, I'm not going to talk about...
Well, anyways, he's not going to say what happened. But anyways, it's cool. It's amazing. He's been working really hard to find his daughter. His daughter, it was weird. It was interesting because she was at home, and then she said, hey, when are you coming home for dinner? And then she goes outside to get something out of the truck with no shoes on, or a jacket, I don't think. And then she gets into a vehicle that pulls up. And she's ran away before, but she usually comes back. This time, 27 days. That must have been an absolute nightmare for that guy. But she is back now. So there you go. All right. Got that. Then the other update is on... it's just something... I have to do this. Let's see. Thanks, a blank slate. Alright, let's see. It says, man who died on Cybertruck explosion identified as Green Beret and Bronze Star recipient. Here's what we know about him. So I just wanted to... This was an article from today. So I just want to throw it out there. There's a lot of people, believing in all kinds of, it's not really his body and stuff. And it is his body, you guys. I know it's much more interesting when you tell stories where you can bring in because if it's not his body, then it's a massive conspiracy. That's what people like to sell. Matthew Liversberger, an active duty Green Beret, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head before a Tesla Cybertruck exploded outside of the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas on New Year's Day, according to police. As you see that, according to police. Like, okay, it's not, that's what they say. Hey, thanks so much, Texas Girl. Happy New Year to you, too. The coroner for Clark County, Nevada, identified Leivelsberger, 37, as the driver of the Cybertruck who died by suicide before the blast, according to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Leivelsberger's phone was recovered from the explosion aftermath and contained notes saying U.S. was headed towards collapse and that Leivelsberger chose to carry out the act because he said, "I needed to cleanse my mind of the brothers I've lost and relieve myself of the burden of the lives I took." So maybe that's something that's always been bothering him. He didn't mention any other reasons. Look at that, Texas Girl, 17 months. Thank you, Kit Kat, surfing. The notes also said the act was not a terrorist attack and was instead a wake-up call, adding, "Americans only pay attention to spectacles and violence." Well, you can't really argue with that. I mean, how many times have you watched the news where each story was a really good, feel-good story? It's like there never is. They almost have to, it's like a special event to have a positive story. Las Vegas Sheriff Kevin McMahill said in a press conference Thursday multiple IDs belonging to Leivelsberger, including a passport and military ID card, were found inside the Cybertruck through law enforcement and could not initially confirm whether Leivelsberger was the driver because the body found in the wreck was burnt beyond recognition, even though the tattoo pattern matches perfectly. So to believe that's not his body, you'd have to believe that some wacko was, they put tattoos on another body before they died so that they could set, like regular tattoos. And then they were put in the truck and then they were killed so it would look like Leivelsberger was killed later. Right? So that's how ludicrous it gets. Las Vegas Sheriff Kevin McMahill. And the thing is, I don't think it's a conspiracy to think that maybe there's other people, because you got to admit, like you've got the two Trump assassination attempts, and then you've got this, and the Iranian plot, and then you've got this guy, or Jabbar, but this guy here, I don't know if he fits into all that, but what if there is somebody out there that preys on people that are down and out and have misgivings and they're just sort of struggling, and they sort of encourage them to do whatever it is that they want to do just to create mayhem. Like, is there a forum out there that some of these people get on, and then there's somebody who, something like that kind of makes some sense, even though it'd be like, what are the odds of it? Las Vegas Sheriff Kevin McMahill said in a press conference Thursday, multiple ID. Leivelsberger was a member of the Army's Green Beret Special Forces Unit, served at Fort Bragg, was deployed twice to Afghanistan, and was on leave from Germany at the time of the explosions. Or explosion, McMahill said. Leivelsberger was reportedly awarded 5 Bronze Stars. All right, so Bronze Star is a Medal of the United States Force decoration awarded to members of the military for heroic or meritorious service or achievement. So he got 5 Bronze Stars during his service, including one with a Valor device. So, like, that means it's one of the ones where he acted with, extreme bravery. and it was Courage Under Fire, a combat infantry badge. And that's probably, like somebody like that probably had an easier time doing what he did to himself inside the vehicle. Just that he, takes courage to do that. Both Leivelsberger and Shamsuddin Jabbar, identified as the suspect who drove into a crowded street in New Orleans, also on New Year's Day, killing at least 14, served at Fort Bragg at different periods and were deployed to Afghanistan at the same time in 2000s. 2009, I thought. And McMail said investigators are working to determine whether they were stationed in the same province. Leivelsberger and Jabbar, but they're so different. The ideology behind what Jabbar did and Leivelsberger did are completely different. Don't you guys agree with that? I mean, they're not. It's not even, worlds apart. And as a matter of fact, he didn't even seem like he tried to kill anybody. Leivelsberger and Jabbar rented their vehicles through Turo, a vehicle sharing app, though the company said in a statement neither had a criminal background that Turo believes would have flagged them as a security threat. All right, guys, no coffees in here. We're currently on the super chat portion at 1/20th of a nightly goal. Let's try not to have the same type of night as last night. Let's see. Leivelsberger and Shamsuddin Jabbar identified as the suspect who drove into a crowded street in New Orleans. Also on, we already went over that. Leivelsberger and Jabbar rented their vehicles through Turo, a vehicle sharing app, through the company, though the company said in a statement neither had a criminal background that Turo believes would have flagged them as a security threat. The FBI said Thursday the agency's office in Denver and Colorado Springs police department were conducting law enforcement activity at a Colorado Springs home related to the explosion, though the agency did not include additional details. Investigators also found a second phone in the Cybertruck, though McMail said they have been unable to access it. Wonder what's in that. Leivelsberger lived with his wife and daughter in Colorado Springs, according to the Denver Gazette. Alicia Errett, Leivelsberger's ex-girlfriend, told the outlet Leivelsberger's attitude and behavior appeared to shift in 2019 after he returned from deployment with a traumatic brain injury. He became isolated and showed depressive symptoms, which Errett said went untreated because it's not acceptable to seek treatment when someone is in special forces. Spencer Evans, the special agent in charge of the FBI's Las Vegas field office, said Friday investigators determined Leivelsberger likely had post-traumatic stress disorder. Leivelsberger sent text messages to Errett in the days before the blast, telling Errett he left his home on December 26th. After an argument with his wife, he sent photos of his rented Cybertruck to Errett, telling her on December 29th, "I feel like Batman or Halo." None of the messages sent by Leivelsberger before New Year's Day suggested he would carry out the explosion. Leivelsberger picked up his rented Cybertruck in Denver on December 29th before driving south, according to McMahill. He charged the truck on December 30th in Monument, Colorado, before charging it multiple times on New Year's Eve, including stops in Trinidad, Colorado, and Las Vegas. Now New Mexico, where he began traveling west. He stopped 2 more times that day in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Gallup, New Mexico. On New Year's Day, Leivelsberger charged the Cybertruck in Holbrook and Flagstaff, Arizona, before arriving in Las Vegas. A pistol and semi-automatic rifle were found inside the vehicle, and law enforcement determined both were lawfully purchased. The FBI found no definitive link between the Cybertruck explosion and the New Orleans attack, as investigation into the incidents are in the early stages. McMail said shortly after the blast, the Las Vegas Police Department and FBI investigated whether the explosion was possible terrorist attack, adding he was comfortable calling the incident a suicide, which is a bombing that occurred immediately thereafter. Evans said Thursday, "It's not lost on us. The incident took place in front of the Trump Hotel and involved a vehicle." But anyways, when you read about him, it's he seemed to like Trump and everything. So I think it was just a statement, and it's almost like an homage to Trump and Elon Musk. And what was weird is what he wanted the message to be is exactly what the voters already did. So I don't really understand his purpose in his statements that he made. Thanks, Little Puppy Paws. We're currently at $18.99. All right, let's see. Now we're switching over to the main story. So it's a lot of reading again. But we're going back over. This is in the JonBenet Ramsey case. Going back to newspapers.com, but I'm really just using the Boulder, Colorado newspaper archive, because I feel like those local people at that time would probably have pretty good information. Yeah. That's what they say. We'll see. It's already not looking good, you guys. This must have been right around Timothy McVeigh. Alright, so last time we realized that there was multiple parties at the house, that the investigators originally thought it was a ransom, so they didn't even check around the house. And they had the father of JonBenet, like 7 or 8 hours after the police were even there, they went searching around and then found her body in the basement, in some sort of like a closet or something, and she'd been garroted and bashed over the head and was killed. And then there was a note left, a ransom note. Nah, Little Puppy Paws, they didn't spread misinformation. Alright. So you're wrong. And maybe everybody spread something like that, but it's not like, oh, they're the only ones that spread, Come on. I mean, obviously they had good coverage. I've seen it. If it's opposite of what you believe happened in the case, then you'll think it was misinformation. Right. Sure. Well, you might as well not watch the Little Puppy Paws, because obviously everything I'll be reading will be misinformation. What do you mean someone was hiding in the house? How does they're just hiding in the house, they write a note, and then they kill the daughter without taking, Okay. So should we just not do this then, you guys? I mean, I can tell people aren't really interested in supporting the channel. Plus, we've got people bitching and complaining already that it's out of the Boulder newspaper, and I'm just not feeling it again right out of the gate. It's just... Right, okay. All right. Hey, thanks. Dirt in my eye. That's what I feel like. I feel like I got dirt in my eye. Right. Okay, but you guys know how it works on here. I do the shows, you guys support the channel, and then I try to reach the goals. We didn't reach the goal by a mile yesterday, and so I'd like to try to get there tonight. And we've got the buy me a coffees, we've got the super chat, super whatevers, and buy channel memberships, etc. But it's the only way to keep this thing going, you guys. All right, intruder targets JonBenet's case. Oh yeah, this was kind of weird. Just when you think you've heard everything in the JonBenet, this is back on June 13th, 1997. We left off in May 1997. Just when you've heard everything in the JonBenet Ramsey case, Boulder police now report that someone apparently broke into the war room and may have stolen computer files containing sensitive information in the case. Police have asked the Colorado Bureau of Investigation to investigate the alleged tampering. City spokeswoman Leslie Aholm said Thursday that a preliminary investigation confirmed that someone gained access to a computer containing Ramsey case information at about 1 a.m. Saturday. Police detectives discovered an anomaly in the computer Monday morning and immediately called for technical assistance. It is not known at this time whether specific information has been removed or not. Thanks, Allie Cake. All right. The computer was in the war room, an office in the Boulder County Justice Center. Thanks, Michelle H. That houses the district attorney, staff, and police detectives. CBI Inspector Pete Mang said the computer has been moved to the agency Lakewood Laboratory. Our concern right now is who got into the computer, what information was retrieved, and what information was taken, Mang said. Our laboratory results will be forwarded to the police department. It will be up to them to determine if the case has been compromised. Police moved into the war room June 2nd. Authorities had said earlier that they were concerned about computer leaks in the Ramsey case and that steps have been taken to safeguard computer security. The alleged tampering in the latest odd occurrence in this case, which has attracted international attention among others, coroner photos were stolen from a photo lab and sold to a supermarket tabloid. Photos taken by investigators. By the way, why would you take crime scene photos to like a local photo lab? I mean, what a stupid. Photos taken by investigators for JonBenet's parents, John and Patsy Ramsey, also turned up in the same tabloid after they reportedly were found in the trash. Pages with entries on JonBenet were torn from a coroner's log. No one has been charged in the murder of 6-year-old JonBenet, who was found strangled in the family Boulder's home. So somebody tried to break in, or they did apparently. See what this next one is. Now it seems like all right. Ramsey snafus persist. Computer documents apparently illegally accessed through the Boulder County Department of Social Services include interviews with JonBenet Ramsey's half-siblings as well as other observations about the girl's murder investigation. The Daily Camera previously reported the documents included an interview with JonBenet's 10-year-old brother, Burke. The reports also detail questions about possible child abuse, but don't discuss significant information about the subject, sources said. Officials couldn't confirm or deny that the social services theft involved the Ramsey case because of Colorado confidentiality laws. Meanwhile, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation hopes to conclude an investigation into the possible theft of computer and other documents. So I guess they keep having problems with people stealing documents. Hey, we finally got a coffee from James. Thank you. Autopsy report details JonBenet's brutal end. So I'm going to go... Well, actually, I'm not sure which one has the information on it. Let's go over here. I think it's probably going to be this one. JonBenet Ramsey suffered a ferocious blow to the head, was brutally strangled, and may have been sexually assaulted according to grisly details from the girl's autopsy ordered released Monday by the state Supreme Court. But while the documents, the second portion of the autopsy released since John Ramsey, the girl's father, found the 6-year-old slain in the basement of her family's home, confirm earlier reports of the murder, the details don't identify her killer. The report shows someone violently struck JonBenet on the right side of her head, causing an 8.5-inch long fracture of her skull. Additional findings verify the killer strangled the girl, but raised more questions about whether someone sexually assaulted the former Little Miss Colorado. The autopsy provides other never-before-released information, such as when the coroner arrived on the scene, samples taken from the girl's body, and her weight, a mere 45 pounds. Key portions of the autopsy, such as the time of death, the girl's clothing during the murder, as well as the position of JonBenet's body when her father discovered the girl strangled, remain sealed. Officials plan to release the remaining 6 portions of the autopsy on August 13th. Boulder District Judge Carol Glowinski opened limited portions of the report in February to the public after the Daily Camera and other media fought the petition by Boulder County Coroner Dr. John Meyer to seal the documents. Meyer anticipated serving as a material and expert witness at any future Ramsey murder trial, declined comment. In this report, JonBenet's autopsy... Okay, I'm trying to get to that other page. Here we go. It's not that one. A deep ligature furrow encircles the entire neck. The width of the furrow varies from 1/8 of an inch to 5/6 of an inch, and is horizontal in orientation with little upward deviation. It is almost completely horizontal with slight upward deviation from the horizontal toward the back of the neck. The midline of the furrow mark on the interior neck is 8 inch below the top of the head. The midline of the furrow mark on the posterior neck is 6.75 inches. So it kind of had an angled higher in the back of the neck. I think they're referring to the mark, the ligature mark. So it's higher in the back of the neck and then kind of lower like it angles down. On the interior aspect of the perineum along the edge of closure of the labia majora is a small amount of dried blood. A similar small amount of dried and semi-fluid blood is present on the skin of the fourchette and the vestibule inside the vestibule of the vagina and along the distal vaginal wall is reddish, so it sounds like they are describing that she was assaulted. Skull damage. Upon reflection of the scalp, that means actually cut across the scalp and then pull back the skin. Upon reflection of the scalp, there is found to be an extensive area of scalp hemorrhage, so that's when she was bashed in the head. Along the right temporoparietal area extended from the orbital ridge posteriorly all the way to the occipital area. I've actually seen pictures of, I don't know if I have them in here. I know it's in some other documents that I have, but yeah, so a lot of, severe skull damage. So let's see what this timeline over here is. December 25th, 6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey is put to bed at about 8:30 p.m., reportedly the last time she is seen alive. December 26th, at 5:22 a.m., JonBenet's mother, Patsy Ramsey, calls police to say her daughter is missing and that she has found a ransom note on a stairway in the family's home at 755 15th Street, Boulder. December 26, 1996, at about 1:30 p.m., John Ramsey, JonBenet's father, and a family friend discover the girl's body in the basement after police recommend they search the home. Police say JonBenet was not stabbed or shot, but would not disclose how she died. Then on December 27th, the Boulder County coroner reveals that JonBenet was strangled. Officials release no other details. December 30th, the family flies to Georgia, where JonBenet will be buried. About the murder investigation, city officials say JonBenet's two older half-siblings, half-brother and Andrew, and half-sister Melinda were out of town during the incident. December 31st, 1996, JonBenet is buried in Marietta, Georgia. So you guys, currently we're at 1/8 of a nightly goal. And so if you guys want me to be covering these types of cases, not just, like I veered off of the really popular cases, and you can see how it's just an absolute struggle in here. So I don't know what to tell you guys. December 31st, 1996, JonBenet is buried in Marietta, Georgia. January 1st, John and Patsy Ramsey go on CNN for their first interview to proclaim innocence and tell an interviewer that there is a killer on the loose. January 4th, police finish their 10-day investigation of the family home. January 7th, sources reveal that investigators had found a practice ransom note written in the same type of pen on the same paper as the note found in the Ramsey home. January 9th, police chief Tom Kobe meets with 5 members of the local press. His first news conference since JonBenet was found murdered. Kobe says the field of suspects had narrowed but sheds little light on the investigation. Well, then where's the support, Karen? That's what I'm asking. If you guys like it obviously isn't popular to you guys, all right? We've got 245 people watching. It's less than any of the other recent nights, and it's just, I'm not sure what you guys want, man. It's very bizarre. I have no idea anymore. Used to just be able to cover whatever I want, and you guys, now it's like kind of a bummer. Thanks, Kit Kat. Let's see. So January 23rd, Ramsey's friends and relatives say police have questioned them about past child abuse in connection with the murder. A former nanny and others tell the Daily Camera that they don't believe abuse was possible. Meanwhile, John Douglas, a former FBI profiler hired by the Ramsey family, tells Larry King on CNN that his investigation concluded family members did not commit the murder. So that's John Douglas. He's a pretty big-time profiler. Hey, thank you very much, Karen. February 13th, Boulder County District Attorney Alex Hunter threatens to seek the death penalty in the JonBenet murder. See, I think what they were doing in that case is they wanted to say, hey, we're looking for the death penalty. So that then they could ask the dad, hey, do you think the person who killed your daughter should get the death penalty? Hoping he'd say no, because usually what that means is you're minimizing what the punishment should be because you're the perpetrator. Because obviously any rational person having their daughter killed, strangled like that would immediately go, yes, the death penalty, right? February 14th, a judge, let's see, hold on. Oh, we got some copies there. We got Sandy, and then Jet, and Michelle, and Karen. I guess it's a different Karen from Australia, with some coffees. Thank you. Patsy Ramsey gives a third handwriting sample. March 14th. Sources close to the investigation say John Ramsey did not write the ransom note. April 10th and 15th. Police seek the 4th and 5th handwriting samples from Patsy Ramsey. April 21st, the Ramsey attorneys write scathing letter to Hunter about police cancel an interview with their clients. Police respond that FBI advisors didn't approve of the conditions of the interview and release a set of conditions. April 22nd, Boulder County Coroner John Meyer tells the Daily Camera that police inquired about keeping JonBenet's body until the Ramseys agreed to an interview. Meyer said he told the police he would release her body because forensic work was done. April 23rd, sources tell the Daily Camera that police released documents to the Ramsey lawyers that detailed the family's behavior on December 26th as part of the conditions for an interview. April 30th, the Ramseys are interviewed separately by investigators at the Justice Center. May 1st, the Ramseys meet with the media. We went over all that on the last show. After months of seclusion, to declare their innocence and plead for help finding their daughter's killer. May 10th, the Ramseys place an ad in the Daily Camera that offers reward for anyone with tips. May 13th, two Boulder police investigator detectives, Linda Arndt, first to ride, and Detective Melissa Hickman are dropped from the case, so they're removed. Those are the first people that arrived on the case, so I'm not really sure why they're removed. Thank you, James Long. May 15th, police confirmed they received DNA test results in connection with the murder, but sources said the tests were not as conclusive as they could be. And then May 20th, Patsy Ramsey provides authorities with a 5th handwriting sample. She still has not been ruled out. May 20th, Boulder District Judge Carol Klawinski delays for another 15 days in order to release most of the 6-year-old's autopsy report, which has been sealed. Boulder police confirmed they did not share DNA results with the Boulder County DA's office. June 30th, officers from the Boulder Police Department, the Boulder County District Attorney's Office, and the Colorado Bureau of Investigation returned to the 7,000 square foot Ramsey home looking for more clues. July 2nd, investigators confirmed they plan to destroy walls in the Ramsey home in hope of locating evidence related to the murder. Well, what are they hoping to find? Hey, thanks, Plato. All right, let's see if I got rid of this. I think now we're on to the PDF files. So this is these are all from the same paper, but I just downloaded them like this. So this might be part A and B. It's easier to look at. Fingerprint tests on Ramsey note are inconclusive. Authorities have completed fingerprints. This is on July 16th, 1997. They completed fingerprint testing on the ransom note discovered in JonBenet Ramsey's home, but the results don't positively identify the author of the document, sources said Tuesday. The Daily Camera previously reported that early examinations of palm print testing of the notes, as well as DNA testing of forensic evidence, did not immediately produce conclusive results. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation informed investigators about the fingerprint testing results. The problem is, even if you find someone's fingerprints on the note, it doesn't mean they wrote the note, a source close to the investigation said. So there's no real way you can indisputably say who wrote the note, because there are a lot of different explanations for finding fingerprints. Pete Mang, an inspector with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, said he couldn't comment on the details of the CBI fingerprint analysis report. The results have been turned over to the Boulder Police Department. Police gathered handwriting, blood, hair, and fingerprint samples from the Ramseys and others after John Ramsey and a friend found John's 6-year-old daughter, JonBenet, strangled in the family home on December 26, about 8 hours earlier. Patsy Ramsey, the girl's mother, discovered a ransom note demanding $118,000 and called authorities. Since the homicide, Patsy Ramsey has supplied investigators with 5 handwriting samples. Analysis of the handwriting samples have eliminated John Ramsey as author of the note, but haven't excluded the former. Let's see this. Officials hope fingerprints on the note might point to a suspect, but some experts say Tuesday that fingerprints don't always determine who committed an act. The only thing that occurs when the identification of the latent print material is to say this person at some point made contact with the object. Yeah, it's just sort of like DNA, right? It's just evidence that they were there, but now you have to sort of prove that they were there. It's just very similar. Latent impressions are accidental and fragmentary, and if the impressions either is not sufficient size or it lacks sufficient number of minutiae, then it is of no value for comparison. Meanwhile, Tuesday, child abuse experts continue to raise questions about the sequence of events leading to JonBenet's death following Monday release of much of an autopsy report detailing her injuries. The former Little Miss Colorado suffered a violent blow to the head, creating an 8-inch long fracture of her skull. One expert said the autopsy showed the killer could have struck the girl several times. It's possible there could have been more than one blow because it's very long fracture that goes from front to back part of it going over the midline of the skull, and there is a displaced fragment of her skull, said Dr. Cyril Wecht. Man, that guy's everywhere. Coroner for the Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. The head wound was not designed to kill. It was designed to cover up. There is no large collection of blood in the brain, and if the heart had been beating, so that means it was done after the fact. Maybe just something to make sure. Thank you, Richard Watts. Dr. Robert Kirshner, a retired deputy. We're currently at 1/5 of a nightly goal. Dr. Robert Kirshner, a retired deputy chief medical examiner of the Cook County, Illinois, and a clinical associate in the Department of Pathology, and pediatrics at the University of Chicago disagreed. You very often find head injuries with very little bleeding, even if some people just die of head injury without strangulation, Kirshner said. Today, the Daily Camera lawyers will ask a Boulder district judge to open the search warrants connected to the case. All right. So we got a lot more to go over here. I mean, if you don't want to do super chats, the membership thing's a good option. I like that. They're the same, but at least there's a potential that somebody would stay a channel member and have access to the emojis. A photo technician fired for stealing and selling autopsy photos of JonBenet Ramsey, published in the Globe tabloid, was back in jail Saturday after being arrested in connection with indecent exposure. Isn't this weird? I mean, they should look into this guy. And this is one of those ones where I was looking at this and I just saw the headline. I read the first paragraph. I just thought, yeah, this is weird. A photo technician, or it could just be that the technician was a pedophile, and then, that's why he wanted that picture. But a photo technician fired for stealing and selling autopsy photos of JonBenet Ramsey, published in the Globe tabloid, was back in jail Saturday after being arrested in connection with indecent exposure in front of two teenage girls. Lawrence Sean Smith remained in Boulder, Colorado jail Saturday on $5,000 bond. Deputies arrested him at his home at 421 4 Mile Canyon on suspicion of 3 counts of indecent exposure. According to police records, Smith exposed himself near his home to a juvenile girl on Wednesday while she was jogging. When she was running by, the girl saw him lying on the roadside naked and masturbating. He later exposed himself to another juvenile girl, the report states. One of the girls picked him out of a photo lineup the next day. According to the report, Smith told a deputy that he didn't do anything and that he has been trying really hard to get his life together after the Ramsey incident. Smith, who had been working at Western 1 Hour Photo in Estes Park for about a month, told deputies he was lucky to get his new job and wouldn't do anything to hurt his career. Tracy Goodmote, a manager of the Western 1 Hour Photo, said he did not know that Smith had been arrested, but that he has been an excellent employee who does not excuse problems. Goodmote said managers at the store knew of Smith's role in the Ramsey photos, but said he didn't see it as too relevant. Smith and Brett A. Sawyer, a former Boulder County Sheriff deputy and Lafayette police officer, were arrested January 5th for stealing and selling coroner photos to the Globe for $5,500. Sawyer said Smith, then a photo technician at Photocraft Laboratories, $200 for stealing the photos. One report said Sawyer told Smith he was an investigator working in connection with the Ramsey case. 6-year-old JonBenet was found strangled in her family Boulder home December 26th. What kind of sick people do this? It's kind of like Richard Allen, he's like in there developing the photos, How dare you, Gray? I love Richard Allen. Hey, thanks so much, Tracy Martinek. Ramsey lashes out at police. This is, now we're July 24th. By the way, you guys, here, I'll show you where we're at. See, this is where we're at in the progression of the files. It goes to here. So we started off there. You know, now we're just right there. And that only gets us to October, if you can believe that. Ramsey lashes out at police. In a blistering statement Wednesday, John Ramsey, not JonBenet, John Ramsey denounced the Boulder Police Department's investigation into the murder of his daughter, JonBenet, and announced the family's plan to hunt down the killer. Right. Just like OJ, huh? Ramsey press release included a profile of the kind of person who would kill a 6-year-old girl, as well as an announcement that the family will run a series of local newspaper ads seeking the murderer. The family also will distribute flyers in some neighborhoods and their profile of the perpetrator. And while his message lashed out at police, a family spokeswoman said Ramsey approves of the Boulder County District Attorney's Office involvement in the case. We all became aware that we would be investigated as a matter of routine procedure and have refrained from commenting on their work, as we had also expected that they would work past us and get on with the investigation into who killed JonBenet. Ramsey said in a press release, "I am not confident this has happened." Ramsey family spokeswoman Rachel Zimmer clarified, his frustration is not with the DA's team or Lou Smith, the retired Colorado Springs homicide investigator serving on the prosecution expert task force, Zimmerman said. Ramsey has expressed dismay from the Boulder Police Department before. In April, Ramsey attorneys sent a scathing letter to Boulder County District Attorney Alex Hunter, accusing the police department of lacking the objectivity and judgment. The Boulder Police Department has not in the past and does not in the future intend to engage in a media debate over issues that anyone might have with the investigation, Kobe said. John Ramsey and a friend found his daughter strangled in the basement of the family's home on December 26th. In a statement, I'm just going to read, summarize this stuff here. In a statement Wednesday, however, Ramsey said an intruder brutally murdered JonBenet as the family slept on December 25th. Since the homicide, police have not named any suspects. Meanwhile, Ramsey said he has escalated his efforts to find JonBenet's killer. The family hired lawyers, private investigators, a former FBI profiler, and others in the early days of the case. The family's investigators and experts have developed solid leads and produced a profile. The profile suggests JonBenet's killer may have suffered from stress in the weeks and that JonBenet died in, what does it say? Oh, I guess it goes down here. The profile suggests JonBenet's killer may have suffered from stress in the weeks and months preceding the crime and may have increased his consumption of alcohol or drugs and turned to religion after the slaying. The murderer may seem rigid, nervous, and preoccupied in casual conversation, and may have quickly constructed an alibi for his whereabouts the night JonBenet died and repeated the story several times to key individuals. What's missing here that's very important is there's no description of the characteristics and traits of the offender crime and the crime scene analysis and analysis of the content of the note, the medical examiner's report, and what those injuries may or may not mean, McCrary said. What you've got here is a description of pre- and post-offense behavior. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I guess this is continued. This is a different statement on the same paper. All right, so this is Ramsey releases, and I think it's like a profile. So I think this is pretty interesting. Hey, thanks DM1, or however, I don't know how to say that. On December 25th, my daughter JonBenet was brutally murdered by an intruder who came into our home while we slept. I think these are the ads that we heard about. And if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, I would appreciate it. My channel relies on your generosity on a nightly basis to achieve an income where it allows me to keep doing the shows, and at the end of the month I'm able to give away money out of the ad revenue, the super chats, and everything that comes in. All right. And the way last night and tonight have gone so far, I wouldn't be able to do that. Okay. So I don't know what I need to do. It used to not be so difficult. I don't know if I need to stand up on a table and dance around like a chicken, or who the hell knows. The person who did the crime is an evil person. Okay, as a parent, there's no greater hurt in life, the loss of a child. I can tell you that to lose our youngest child in such a vile and brutal manner is a hurt beyond what any human being could be expected to endure. The person who did this crime is an evil person beyond imagination. He must be brought to justice and prevented from stopping the life of another young child who offers so much to the future of our world. Over the past 7 months, I have grown increasingly frustrated as the investigating authorities have limited their investigation into the murder of my daughter, JonBenet Ramsey, to me and members of my family. So they've only looked into that. We all became aware that we would be investigated as a matter of routine procedure and have refrained from commenting on their work, as we have had all expected that they would work past us and get on with the investigation into who killed JonBenet. I am not confident. Hey, thanks, Sunshine Susie. 3 months. I thought you'd been around longer than that. I am not confident this has happened. Therefore, today I'm announcing an escalation in my own efforts to find the murder of JonBenet. Prominent experts in the field of criminology, handwriting, and language forensics have developed a profile of the probable behavior of JonBenet's killer before and after the crime. Highly qualified handwriting analysis experts have developed a template for our investigation, or for our investigators to use in comparing key features of handwriting samples against the note. Based on tips received from our previous advertisements and other field work, our investigators are looking into solid leads. While we are limited to our work because we do not have access to the forensic information and do not have police powers to search and test, we do have the advantage of knowing that no one in our family is responsible for JonBenet's death, and we can evaluate information without prejudice. I mean, that's when you hear that, the way he just worded that last sentence, that's exactly how see, there's people out there, the trolls. People go, Gray, you work for the FBI. There's something you're doing. You work for the FBI. Gray, you're doing this. Gray, you're doing that. Gray, you're doing that. And the thing is I actually know who I am, so I'm in a unique position to know those people are lunatics. All right? So it's just like in this case, Mr. Ramsey says, it's similar. He says, we do have the advantage. That's what I always say too. I go, listen, I'm in a unique position to know that you're crazy because I know that what you just said isn't true. And that's kind of what they're saying here. They're saying, we do have the advantage of knowing that no one in our family is responsible for JonBenet's death, and we can evaluate information without prejudice. So they're saying, hey, we know we didn't do it, so if you give us more information, maybe we can find something here. We will begin a series of newspaper ads and flyers to alert people to the elements of the behavioral profile and ask them to contact our investigators with information about persons who might fit the profile. If someone has a handwriting sample of a person they believe might fit the profile, our investigators would also like to see that as well. The profile provided to me suggests the following. JonBenet's killer may have been suffering from some stress in the weeks and months preceding the crime. A triggering event, such as a job crisis or crisis in a personal relationship, may have caused this individual to vent anger, perhaps at a female close to him, or perhaps at me personally. Since the murder, this individual may rapidly read news reports of the investigation, listen to talk radio shows oriented to coverage of the murder. He possibly had increased his consumption of alcohol or drugs. He may have even turned to religion. He may be rigid, nervous, and preoccupied in casual conversations. Now, it's weird. That sort of sounds like Richard Allen a little bit. He may have tried to appear very cooperative with authorities if he had contacted during the course of the police investigation. He may have... God, look how crazy. Like, if you were just thinking of Richard Allen, just think about this. The killer may have been suffering from some stress in the weeks and months preceding. And then, since the murder, this individual may have rapidly read news reports of the investigation, listened to talk radio, and, we don't know if he did that, but it says he possibly have increased his consumption of alcohol. He probably did that. He may have turned to religion. Well, we know he did that while he was in jail. He may have rigid, nervous, preoccupied in casual conversation. He may have tried to appear very cooperative, meaning like when he went and, in his case, talking to Dan Doolin. Very cooperative with authorities if he was contacted during the course of the police investigation. See that? He may have quickly constructed an alibi for his whereabouts the night JonBenet was killed, and may have repeated it several times to key individuals around him as if rehearsing them in the answer. Anyways, the killer is someone who may have previously been in my home. We appreciate the help and support we have received from the people of Boulder. Beginning this Sunday, we will begin running ads in the Boulder newspaper and will distribute flyers in appropriate neighborhoods, reminding people of the behavioral profiles and asking for their help in developing more detail about their individuals. We hope that with the help of one key phone call, the killer can be brought to justice. Anyways, What's the next one? Yeah, the Ramsey ad to include letters from ransom note. An advertisement scheduled for this Sunday's camera will include samples of individual letters from the handwritten ransom note found by JonBenet Ramsey's mother on December 26. Ramsey representatives also will distribute flyers detailing the writing on the note sometime this week. Ramsey spokeswoman Rachel Zimmer said Tuesday. The parents of the aspiring beauty queen hope someone will recognize the distinctive penmanship and provide information leading to the arrest of the killer of JonBenet, the 6-year-old, discovered strangled on December 26. Since the slaying, Patsy Ramsey has supplied authorities with 5 handwriting samples. A Colorado Bureau of Investigation analysis of the writing ruled out John Ramsey. John Ramsey, however, recently lashed out at police investigation into his daughter's homicide. Sunday, the Ramsey placed an ad in the Camera, that's the name of this newspaper, appealing for the public's assistance in solving the crime. The ad listed the Ramsey tip line as well as characteristics the murderer might have displayed before and after the slaying. The Sunday ad will include handwriting samples of a capital M, D, W, and lowercase k, U, F, and R, and W, as well as some unusual connecting letters such as TH. Christina Kelly, forensic document examiner with the Lakewood Police Department, said releasing characters from the note may help apprehend the perpetrator. In one case in Florida, they posted the killer's writing on a billboard, and they actually solved the case because someone called the police after recognizing the writing. Nevertheless, publicizing only specific letters may not identify the author. I can't really tell if the handwriting characteristics in the Ramsey ad are significant or not, because handwriting identification is based on an accumulation of habits of the author, and one letter wouldn't really represent all the intricate habits, added former FBI criminal profiler Greg McCrary. If this note is an attempt to disguise writing, then advertising the letters will be of less value because it's not how the person normally writes. Right. Alright, you guys, we're still at 1/4 of the nightly goal. So if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, hate having to keep saying it over and over again, but I'm trying to let you guys know that I'm going to be in a weird state where I'm going to have to just sort of make videos and videos and videos and videos and focus on that. Okay. We've been doing these live streams for years, and you know, we've just really struggled lately in here. Not sure why. It's a lot of hours for me to do these shows. So here's the do you recognize this handwriting? That's kind of lame, you know. It's like, I mean, what are the odds you're gonna go, oh yeah, that's so and so? Let's see. Does this handwriting look familiar? Did the person whose handwriting this resemble display any of the pre or post-crime characteristics prior to the murder? Did he perhaps experience conflict with a female, conflict with family, financial stress, marital problems, legal problems, employment problems? Did the person whose writing this resembles suffer a traumatic event, such as, say, that might help if you went, oh wow, yeah, I knew somebody, and whoa, let me look at their writing, oh my god, it looks just like, you know, something like that. After the crime, did the person whose writing may resemble these samples establish an obvious alibi, increase his alcohol or drug consumption, experience depression, appear very cooperative with authorities, find a legitimate reason to leave the area days or weeks after the crime, suddenly become religious, suffer insomnia, closely monitor media accounts of the crime, appear extremely rigid, nervous, and preoccupied. And if you knew anybody like that, give them a call. Yeah, so over here it says, when JonBenet Ramsey was found slain December 26, she was wearing white long johns and a white top with a sequin star on it, leading some experts to conclude her murderer changed her clothing after sexually assaulting and killing her. The former Little Miss Colorado had a red heart drawn on the palm of her left hand and was wearing a yellow bracelet on her right hand. The same wrist, a white cord was wrapped around, with JonBenet engraved on one side and 12/25/96 on the other. She wore a gold ring on the middle finger of her right hand and a necklace with a cross pendant around her neck, along with the cord used to strangle her. Her hair was in a ponytail, one on top of her head, the other at the base of her neck. The detailed description of the 6-year-old's appearance came in the final section of her autopsy, released Wednesday after several media outlets, including the Daily Camera, pursued the documents all the way to the Colorado Supreme Court. The Boulder County Coroner, District Attorney, and Boulder Police Department sought to keep such details under wraps, claiming their release could hurt the still unsolved murder mystery that has attracted international media attention. But the autopsy results did not include the answer to a frequently asked question that could be pivotal to the investigation. What time did JonBenet die? Boulder County Coroner John Meyer said such information what does that say? Interpretive, I guess. Man, it's kind of hard to read it with that break. And something he would share only on the witness stand. The report listed the cause of death as asphyxia by strangulation associated with craniocerebral trauma. The report sealed after the girl's body was discovered December December 26th with a fractured skull and a cord tightened around her neck. Notes there were several red stains as well as urine in the crotch area of the underwear she wore beneath her long johns. The panties had the word Wednesday on the elastic waistband. The autopsy also includes a description of the garrote used to kill her. The report noted that a white quarter-inch synthetic cord was wrapped around JonBenet's neck and her right wrist. Attached to one end of the rope around her neck was a 4.5-inch piece of broken wood, which apparently had been used to mix paint and varnish, with the word Korea imprinted in gold letters on it. Thank you, Michelle Wood. Investigators noted that the full text may have been made in Korea. The made in Korea. The piece of wood was used to tighten the cord around the girl's neck. The Ramsey family, through their attorney, Hal Haddon, said the autopsy details released Wednesday confirmed that we have known for some time that this vicious murder was well planned. The person who prepared the ligature and the garrote obviously put a lot of thought into the murder. JonBenét's body was discovered in a basement storage room in her sprawling University Hill home in the early afternoon of December 26 by her father. Access Graphic President John Ramsey had a friend and a friend. Police initially responded to the Ramsey home at 755 15th Street to investigate a possible kidnapping. JonBenét's mother, Patsy Ramsey, found a ransom note on a stairwell just after 5 a.m. After finding the body later in the day, Ramsey carried his daughter upstairs to the living room, where investigators found her lying on her back with her arms above her head, covered with a Colorado Avalanche sweatshirt and a blanket. Thank you, Linda Howe, as in Linda Bolden Howe, of the Cattle Mutilations and Crop Circles. Dr. Cyril Wecht, coroner of the Allegheny County, PA, and a forensic expert, said he has no doubt the red stains, as well as vaginal injuries documented in previously released autopsy findings, are evidence of sexual assault. She didn't get that doing anything to herself. His question after reviewing the report was, who dressed the girl? The panties were put on after the superficial injuries occurred, Wecht concluded. What superficial injuries? That Cyril Wecht, though, he's somebody that'll just, I mean, over the years I've watched that guy. He just goes whatever. I don't know, man. I don't trust that guy at all. You did it first because I didn't know any better. I mean, Cyril Wecht remember Cyril Wecht was really into the alien autopsy stuff? Yeah, he actually, made it seem like the alien autopsy was real. I don't know what you're talking about, Kubi. What happened, but explanation from the sides of the case. Police Ramsey, Lou Smith makes much. I don't know what you're saying. Red Fleet's letter. It will help you understand. I don't know what that means. Nobody knows what you're talking about. I'm just going over the case through the newspaper. Right. Well, if it shows up, it shows up. If it doesn't show up, Kelly, it just is what it is. I'm just going over the newspapers from back at the time. And we've got no new coffees, no new channel members after that, and we're just really frozen up again. All right, it says the little girl's body was found about 17 hours after she was last seen Christmas night. The coroner showed up at 8 p.m., although coroner investigators remained at the scene throughout the day except when the site was sealed. Interpretations of what the autopsy results mean varied Wednesday. While Wecht concluded the girl was strangled during a sex game. Oh, jeez. How does he come up with that? That's just ridiculous. Using the cord and accidentally killed with... Really? Okay. That guy... see what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. I think it shows whoever wanted to kill this child really did not like this child, said Kirshner, retired deputy chief medical examiner of Cook County, Illinois, and a clinical associate in the pathology and sociology departments at the University of Chicago. Garroting takes away the potential it was a spontaneous act in anger. Kirshner also said it appeared the girl's clothing may have been replaced or rearranged. He noted she was wearing typical kids' pajamas. She wasn't wearing typical kids' pajamas. She may have been assaulted someplace else in the house and brought to the basement or reclothed after she was killed. Kirshner noted that the killer apparently had ample time to commit the act, making it less likely that it was a stranger to the Ramseys' home. He also said the girl's injuries point to sexual assault, and contrary to Weck's assessment, Kirshner believes the head injuries occurred before the strangulation. Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense, because even a bash like that, it normally doesn't kill you right away. It knocks you out, and then she was strangled to make sure after that. While police fought the release, I think the theory that they couldn't get her out the window is the most ludicrous argument I've ever heard in my life. I mean, she's so small, and if an adult got through the window, surely you could have brought a girl through there. Scalp contusions, so just putting arrows. These are things we already talked about. While police fought the release of the new details, Kirshner thinks it could help. It has been months and there haven't been any arrests, Kirshner said. Releasing this information may jar someone's memory. It may cause someone to come forward. But Christopher Mueller, a University of Colorado law professor and evidence expert, said police wanted to preserve the evidence to identify suspects and screen out false accusations or confessions. Hey, thanks, Kathy Friedenmaker. The final section of the autopsy. All right, I got to go use the facilities. Ramsey ad hints killer likes crime movies. From mysterious men to samples of handwritten letters, the expensive ad campaign mounted by the Ramsey family in search of JonBenet's killer takes another turn today, with the suggestion that the murderer might be an aficionado in techno-crime films. The Boulder County District Attorney on Thursday denounced the ad planned for today's Sunday camera because some of the movie lines included are too close to the lines in the ransom note that authorities want to keep secret. Hey, thanks, Leah Cash, for the intruder theory. I feel like you have to jump through so many hoops to make it work. I know. That's what I think too. Oh wow, somebody, they couldn't, you write, I mean, does this make sense to anybody? This part right here. You break into somebody's house that has 4 people living in it, and you start writing a ransom note, and you go, hell, that doesn't work. Let me start another one. You start a whole nother ransom note. You're just sitting there chilling out. What are you, drinking a glass of wine or something? And you're just working on the note, and then you abduct the girl. Because after you wrote the note, you left it there. And then you sneak up there and you abduct JonBenet, and somehow you can't get her out the window in the basement. So then you end up, bashing her over the head and strangling her because you couldn't get her out the window that you got in, and you're likely much bigger than she is. I don't know. See, that's the part that doesn't make sense to me. That there's a ransom note in the house, and yet they didn't actually take the person from the house. So that's the part that bugs me. I get it. It's possible. So it might be one of those cases where the absurdly, unlikely took place. But just trying to put it together logically, it's hard to do. Okay, this guy breaks into a house. His partner, there's 2 of them in the house. The other one's already got the daughter downstairs, but the other one, he's writing a note, and he goes, let me start over again, and he writes another one, and the other guy's downstairs, and then they leave the note there because they're going to get out, and then 2 people can't get out, a little girl out that window. Oh, look, they got that suitcase there. They must have got out that way. Well, I don't know. He was in the house the whole time. They were, I don't know. I don't think so. Like he was in the house, already wrote the note, and just was waiting for JonBenet to go to sleep, and things went haywire for him. I don't know where she lived compared to the parents. Did they all live on the same floor? And why kill JonBenet unless she knew who you were? So I guess that might make you say, oh, well, it was somebody at that party. There was a bunch of parties going on. No, the suitcase was just used to get in and out. To step on. That's what they say. Great. No, parents were on the 3rd floor, JonBenet on the 2nd floor. Okay. Why do you have 3 O's in there? And then what floor did Burke sleep on? Do you sleep on the 2nd floor? Well, I just heard 2nd floor, Plato. Okay, so when you say 2nd floor, you just mean the main floor and the basement's the 1st floor? Or is there 4 floors, the basement, 1st, 2nd, 3rd? Because nothing we've read so far even came close to describing where they were. Well, he was really an agile guy, Kelly. He's, he could just real smooth character. Hey, thanks, Sunshine Susie, for the coffees. Gonna be all caffeinated up. see if we can get some more channel members, you guys. Okay, so there's the first floor, probably has a dining room and, living room, kitchen, all that stuff. Then the second floor is a living area where there's probably 2 or 3 bedrooms and some bathrooms. And then the third floor is where the parents slept. Master bedroom, maybe some other sort of fun room or something. Who the hell knows? I don't have the pictures. What do you mean attic? You mean basement? Wait, what are you talking about? So the parents lived in the attic? Man, I'm losing brain cells reading the chat. Just everybody's saying something different. Can't do it. All right. But family supporters wish that such advertisements had run right after 6-year-old JonBenet was found strangled in the basement of her family University Hill home on December 26. Her mother reported her kidnapped early that morning. And one criminal justice expert says such an ad campaign most likely serves one of 2 purposes: exhibiting indignation about police work or creating a smokescreen for the family and those close to them who might be suspects. Those are the 2 extremes, said Zug G, Standing Bear, associate professor of criminal justice at Colorado State University and a retired federal agent. There may be something in the middle. Today is the 4th Sunday in a row the JonBenet Ramsey Foundation has paid about $3,100 for a full-page advertisement seeking the girl's killer, Standing Bear said. Much publicity is relatively infrequent. I think there is a lot more complexity to it than what the motive is and why they're doing it. All right, let's see. This is on Reddit. That's the basement. Is there more? First floor, garage, study, breakfast room, dining room, living room, kitchen, second floor. JonBenet's bedroom, bathroom. Who's Melinda? Who's Melinda? Is that another child, or who's that? Melinda's bedroom, children's playroom, John Andrews' bedroom. Who's that? And Burke's bedroom. How many siblings are there? Was there 4 of them? I didn't even know that. I thought there was just Burke and JonBenet. So there's a whole bunch of other kids. Melinda, John Andrews. And then it goes upstairs to, I guess this is, oh yeah, there's the stairs. So the stairs are right there. So somebody came up, got her, and then apparently left a note maybe on these stairs. And then the mother hears it. Yeah. Thanks, Lisa Taylor. And yes, everybody, if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, I would appreciate it. The channel relies on you guys, so. We're currently on the show at about 55%. The note was on the spiral staircase kitchen. So it was on. So it was, yeah, from the second floor down to the first floor. Was there a whole different set of stairs? It looks like there's just stairs here. Oh, I guess there is stairs to the first and second floor. Stairs to the second floor. So there must be like these stairs here. I don't know which stairs though. Yep, it counts. Russian. How about you? Are you sending something there? Russian blue? Because you haven't made one comment until that the entire night. Isn't that interesting? That you only had that one comment to make? I wonder if Netflix paid John Ramsey a fee. Yeah, but that's your first comment you made all night. Russian blue. Kind of interesting, isn't it? Yeah, well, it is true for me, from my perspective. Let's see. Cindy, hey, what happened? It says, what do you mean you spoke? You called her on the phone, or? All right, let's see. Other victims' families suffer in silence or reach out to the community for support, as the family of a police shooting victim in Fort Collins has done, Standing Bear said. In that case, church members and others have supported the family with media coverage in terms of news stories, he said. They go where they have friends, which can be more powerful or as powerful, he said. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Is that one of those other Australian terms? A chin wag. I don't know what. Oh, I don't know. Russian blue. Your comment was just like what the trolls do, always digging around, trying to. Yes, you guys, we've had. This will be the second night in a row where we're really struggling. Right. So if there are people out there, that would be great if we could reach the goal tonight. That'd be fantastic. It would feel like an achievement. The Ramseys ran their first advertisement in May and June. Smaller ads, headline, $100,000 reward seeking general information, leading to an arrest. The early ads included questions about any mysterious men who may have been spotted in the family neighborhood. Those ads led to a parody flyer on the downtown mall in Boulder featuring John Ramsey's photo in place of his daughter and referring to him as a which one are we on here? 817. I guess I don't have the second page, didn't exist. All right, anyways, now we're moving on to 824. Your call may help us. The Ramsey family investigators believe that the phraseology used in the ransom note suggests the murderer of JonBenet is fascinated with techno-crime movies. The murderer may have obsessively watched movies such as these and then used terminology from them. The storylines from the following movies parallel some of the circumstances of the JonBenet murder. Storylines specified the nomination of bills. Phrase, if I even think you're being followed, the girl dies. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, Linda. It's just doing the same shows I always have done. Specified type of container for delivery of the ransom. The delivery of the ransom requires extreme physical exertion. Yeah, I don't understand. That whole part was weird. The kidnapper employs counter surveillance. So the stuff over here says, if you talk to anyone, I don't care if it's a Pekingese pissing against a lamppost, the girl dies. Huh, so that's from a movie, huh? What movie is that? If you talk to anyone, I don't care if it's a Pekingese pissing against a lamp post, the girl dies. That's from Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry. Yeah, it's from Dirty Harry, that line. Interesting. That's the end of the game. The girl dies. Now listen to me carefully. Now listen very carefully. It seems like you had a good rest. You'll need it. I just told you what it was from. I don't know what's going on up here. Nothing's typing. It's weird. It sounds... Let's see. Movie line. It sounds like you had a good rest. You'll need it. I guess they're all saying that. I guess it's all been done over here. Let's see. Dirty Harry was one of them. Now listen to me very carefully. Now listen to me carefully. If I even think you're being followed, the girl died. These are all from Dirty Harry. Wow. So maybe that's kind of what that... maybe somebody had watched that. So Dirty Harry was one of them. Thanks, Vicky White. Okay, and then the ransom. Do not involve the police or the FBI. If you do, I will kill him. Do not inform the media or I will kill him. No tracking devices in the money or the cases or I will kill him. Delivery of the ransom. Speed. Wonder why they don't tell us in this article where the line came from. You know that I'm onto you. You know that I'm onto you. Do not attempt to grow a brain. Oh, that's really, that's the one line that I thought was just kind of strange. So let's see. You know that I'm on top of you. God dang it. Do not attempt to grow a brain. That's from Jack Tricky. Do not attempt to grow a brain. Well, it's also in a movie from, well, no, it's Speed. That's from the movie Speed with Keanu Reeves.
Fine. Jack, nothing tricky now. You know that I'm on top of you. Do not attempt to grow a brain.
Huh. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, so that was from the movie Speed, that line. Yeah. So that was 1994. That's interesting. That one line does make you kind of. I mean, is that something Patsy, she's going to have in her mind? These action movie lines, So that's that's a point in her favor. Those are movies that guys watch mostly, right? I mean, and we remember the lines because they're cool and everything. But what if this person actually had the note, but then when they got there, that they sort of transcribed it, and then they screwed up on the first one and then transcribed it again? But then why didn't you take JonBenet, though? I mean, see, that's where it gets. Yeah. Interesting. And now we're on September 8th. Now this person's saying Ramsey note's a deception. Two former FBI experts told Newsweek magazine that the 2.5-page ransom note, see, that sort of points to the family, in the JonBenet Ramsey murder was intended to mislead investigators. Newsweek is publishing a photocopy of the handwritten note in its September 15th issue, which will be on the newsstands today. I feel like I'm going to get hiccups. But let's see. So we're currently 50 short of the sort of the low end goal where I still don't donate 5 memberships. So if you guys as a group can get together and do that, that'd be great. But we're just not even close. And I don't know why it's a struggle. The only movie lines I remember are, I remember a whole bunch from like Predator and Aliens and those movies. Two former FBI experts told Newsweek magazine that the 2.5-page ransom note on the JonBenet Ramsey murder was intended to mislead investigators. Newsweek is publishing photocopy of the handwritten note in its September 15th issue, which will be, what are we in now? We're in September 8th. Which will be newsstands today. A spokeswoman for the Boulder County District Attorney's Office said the office would have no comment on the Newsweek publication. The full text of the note was published last week after advance copies of a Vanity Fair story about the case were released. Last month, District Attorney Alex Hunter objected to advertisements placed in the Sunday Camera by the Ramsey family that included movie lines that were similar to the lines in the ransom note. But by the way, there's been, thousands of movies, so eventually some lines are used. It doesn't mean, it could be somebody watched movies and they just, a line popped in their head but didn't even remember what movie it came from. Last month, District Attorney Alex Hunter objected. In the Newsweek article, experts say there is no linguistic evidence that there was a foreign connection to the alleged kidnapping of 6-year-old JonBenet. They also comment that handwriting in the note in the first paragraph is noticeably shakier than the end. All right, you guys, look at that. Allie Cake is trying for a wave. It shouldn't be this difficult in here. So she's trying for a wave. Let's see if you guys can join in with her. The child beauty queen was found strangled and beaten in the basement of her family Boulder home December 26th, about 8 hours after her mother found the ransom note. No suspects have been identified, though her parents have been described as a focus of the investigation. Handwriting tests on the note have ruled out John Ramsey as the author, but 5 samples from Patsy Ramsey have been inconclusive. Saturday, the case was featured on America's Most Wanted, a television show that seeks clues into unsolved cases. Meanwhile, investigators in the case are in Virginia to review the case with the FBI experts. Chief Trial Deputy Peter Hofstrom, Senior Trial Deputy Trip DeMuth, and retired Colorado Springs homicide investigator Lou Smith flew from Denver to Washington Dulles International Airport Saturday in preparation for meeting today, said Tuesday. Today and Tuesday. Thanks, Georgina Stoliker and Jessica Schubach. 5 Boulder police, and then it says the Boulder investigators and prosecutors are expected to meet at the FBI Quantico. It is hoped that the FBI experts this week will be able to highlight strengths and weaknesses of the case as it has developed today. Also, they will offer opinions on whether the teams are close to being ready to prepare an arrest warrant, and if not, how police should proceed. Hey, thank you so much, Lisa Taylor. All right. And Karen. All right, Karen, thank you. Thank you, guys. We can just keep the wave going a little longer. We might get somewhere. It is hoped that the FBI experts this week will be able to highlight strengths. During the 3-hour flight, DeMuth was seen spending time with highlighted copies of reports from the Ramsey case, which has now generated more than 18,000 pages of documentation. All right, that was the 8th. And now DA releases full ransom note. The Boulder police and district attorney representatives met with the FBI in Virginia on Monday to review the JonBenet Ramsey investigation. Boulder County District Attorney Alex Hunter released the controversial ransom note tied to the girl's murder. So this probably played out sort of like the Delphi, where it's just slow trickle, everybody's frustrated, but eventually, more information came out. Hunter said he released the note in hopes it will lead to JonBenet's killer. The move came in the wake of the note's publication this week in a national magazine. Hunter was not among the Boulder group that traveled to Quantico, Virginia over the weekend. Also among the 25 officials attending the meeting, which ran for 8 hours Monday and are expected to conclude today were Boulder Police Sergeant Tom Wickman. Remember that first time we looked at the ransom note and how it got all bunched up? That was a completely bogus document. Like, what the hell was that thing? It looked like, oh, they sped up their writing. It was stupid. Yeah, so here it is, like on that next page. Look at that. Yeah, it never looked like that one sample we were looking at. Listen carefully. We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We respect your business, but not the... See, it says we don't is what they're starting to write. We respect your business, but not the country that it serves. Let's see. I think it says we. I don't know. This. Actually, I have it written down over here. Where the hell is that? Ah, shoot. I guess I didn't save it. Oh, maybe it's this one. Yeah. Mr. Ramsey, listen carefully. We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We respect your business, but not the country that it serves. At this time, we have your daughter in our possession. She is safe and unharmed, and if you want to see her to see 1977, you must follow her instructions to the letter. Is that what it says, or our? Let's see. Hold on. Now, our instructions to the letter. You will draw $118,000 from your account. $100,000 will be in $100 bills, and the remaining $18,000 in $20 bills. Make sure that you bring an adequate size attaché to the bank. When you get home, you will put the money in a brown paper bag. I will call you between 8 and 10 a.m. tomorrow to instruct you on delivery. The delivery will be exhausting. See, why that's such a weird thing to say. You know, the delivery will be exhausting. So I advise you to be rested. Why would you give a shit about that? Like why do you care if they're rested or not? If we monitor you getting the money early, we might call you early. So what do you mean monitor you getting the money? So you have access to be able to see them in a bank or something like that? We might call you early to arrange an earlier delivery. You know, like if we see that you're getting the money earlier, we might call you to arrange earlier delivery of the money, and hence earlier pickup of your daughter. So, you know, if you have the money earlier, we'll arrange to pick up the money earlier, and then you'll get your daughter earlier. That's what they're saying. Any deviation of my instructions will result in the immediate execution of your daughter. You will also be denied her remains for proper burial. The two gentlemen watching over your daughter do not particularly like you, so I advise you not to provoke them. Speaking to anyone about your situation, such as police, FBI, etc., will result in your daughter being beheaded. I mean, isn't that just totally overkill? I mean, so she'd be killed if you did other things, but beheaded if but now they're trying to sound sort of like an overseas faction, some Al-Qaeda or something, If we catch you talking to a stray dog or a Pekingese, right, she dies. If you alert bank authorities, she dies. If the money is in any way marked or tampered with, she dies. You will be scanned for electronic devices, and if any are found, she dies. You can try to deceive us, but be warned that we are familiar with law enforcement countermeasures and tactics. You stand a 99% chance of killing your daughter if you try to outsmart us. Follow our instructions, and you stand a 100% chance of getting her back. You and your family are under constant scrutiny, as well as the authorities. Don't try to grow a brain, John. You are not the only fat cat around, so don't think that killing will be difficult. Don't underestimate us, John. Use that good southern common sense of yours. It is up to you now, John. Victory. SBTC. In light of the unauthorized release in the last few days, first the contents of the note in one national magazine and then the handwriting itself in another, we have concluded that there are no longer grounds to withhold the note from the public. Hunter urged anyone who recognized the handwriting, phrasing, or other aspects of the document to call police. Handwriting samples related to the note have eliminated John Ramsey as the author, but have not excluded Patsy Ramsey, according to police sources. Yeah, so there you go. And right now we are 36 short of that low-end goal that we used to have. All right. Can we do it, you guys, as a group? And now we're on to September 11th, ironically, 1977, just 4 years before 9/11. Ramsey open up to press. As the investigation into the slaying of 6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey marches through its 9th month, the Ramsey family has slowly opened their lives to more scrutiny by press and public. Patsy Ramsey, the girl's mother, appeared on the television show American Journal and called Larry King's CNN talk show last week. The family agreed to allow the case to be featured on the TV program America's Most Wanted. Wednesday night, television journalist Diane Sawyer broadcast a tour of the Ramsey home granted her by a family representative. Well, that might be an interesting video if it's out there somewhere. The layout, condition, and atmosphere of the family's spacious University Hill home are among the peripheral aspects of the case since JonBenet was discovered strangled in the basement on the afternoon of December 26th. Despite efforts by the family and its representatives to keep press and public out of the house, now occupied and on the market, there have been unoccupied, and on the market there have been breaches in security. In early June, James Michael Thompson, 33, of Denver, was charged with arson after someone set fire to several items, including a newspaper and pages from Anne Rice's novel Interview with the Vampire, and thrust them through the mail slot with a disposable lighter. The ignited material landed on a marble floor and scorched wallpaper before burning out. In mid-August, Boulder police also responded to a burglar alarm at the home, but found no intruder. Earlier this summer, 2 Ramsey family representatives agreed to show a Daily Camera reporter through the house on the condition that the information not be printed until a later date. This week, following revelations that Sawyer would show the home on Primetime Live, the Daily Camera was given permission to publish a rough description of the house. Many of the family personal effects, including a fish tank containing fish belonging to JonBenet's 10-year-old brother, Burke Ramsey, furniture and books including When Goodbye is Forever, How to Deal with the Death of a Child on John Ramsey's Night Table, were still on the premises during the June tour. The following is a rough description of the layout. I guess we would have got to that later. Description of the layout and condition of the house at the time of the tour. Cement steps lead up to an ornate front door that opens into a small marble-floored foyer. Just outside the foyer, a staircase on the right leads to the second floor. Straight ahead, a short hallway. Yeah, let's see. That's the basement. Yeah, that'd be too complicated. Straight ahead, a short hallway leads into an immaculate kitchen and black-white featuring a mini walk-in cooler with a stainless steel door. At the time of the tour, there was little in the cooler except for some non-alcoholic O'Doul's beer. A large carpeted sitting room with a fireplace in the southeast corner opens to the left of the foyer. Among the wall hangings, a relief of a sailboat, and a framed print from the Capital City Country Club in Atlanta. Proceeding south through the living room is another sitting area with a bank of tall south-facing windows. To the west is a dining area with a long table. That room leads to an entry hall which connects to the kitchen. The spiral staircase, on which Patsy Ramsey allegedly found the ransom note, alerting the family to their missing daughter, rises from an area behind the kitchen. All right, guys, like I said before, we're 36 short of reaching the minimum low-end goal that we set a while ago. Can you guys, as a group, get us to at least that goal tonight? That would be fantastic. Thank you. All right, so here's B. December is carpeted and the walls were repainted while not long before the girl's murder. The entire area has a claustrophobic feel with low ceilings, small rooms, and many close walls. However, it is well lit with bare bulbs and clean except for some water stains on the white walls. The staircase from the main floor leads down to the right, which is east, a small gray carpeted landing. A few more steps lead to the basement floor. Immediately left of the staircase is a small bathroom with a toilet and sink. According to Ramsey's family representatives, the commode was disassembled by investigators. I don't know. You can, if you feel like reading this on the screen, go ahead later. You can just pause the video. Kobe replaces Eller as Ramsey case chief. Yeah, it looks like there was a... So, anyways, looks like they replaced the chief. Police look for a possible suspect. What, that long? You wait all that many, like almost, what is this? This is October. 10 months later? Yeah, if it's on YouTube, I can't play it. And I didn't get any emails. Yeah, I don't know why you send me YouTube videos. It's just ridiculous. All right, anyways, an investigator with the Boulder County District Attorney's Office has asked the Oceanside Police Department in California to help locate a possible yeah, I have. Well, if you went to a party, though, you might know it pretty easily. Anyways, I got it from you. Maybe I can check it out later. I don't know. Anyways, an investigator with the Boulder County District Attorney's Office has asked the Oceanside Police Department in California to help locate a possible suspect in the JonBenet Ramsey homicide case. Lou Smith, a retired Colorado Springs homicide detective working for the prosecutor, called authorities in California last week for information about a 54-year-old man arrested 32 years ago in Oceanside in connection with a crime against a child. The man arrested March 15, 1965, and eventually convicted of a misdemeanor indecent exposure reportedly lived 6 blocks from the Ramsey Boulder home and disappeared shortly after the murder. What he, Smith, said was that it was not any big deal, said Sergeant Mike Goldsmith of the Oceanside Police Department. It's just a normal follow-up on a lead, just as you would with any other homicide case. They, Boulder County District Attorney investigators, are just doing their job. Officials referred Smith to the California Department of Justice because the Oceanside Police Department purges most felony records after 7 years. 6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey was found strangled in the basement of her home on December 26th, about 8 hours earlier. Patsy Ramsey, the girl's mother, discovered a ransom note demanding $118,000 and called police. Authorities, if it is somebody else that's not the Ramseys, it's somebody that knew the Ramseys really well, perhaps even went to the party. You know, there's 3 parties that month. So far, investigators on the case have conducted more than 175 interviews and contacted several sex offenders. And the ransom note mentions all kinds of stuff. Nobody knows what that means, McCullough. But Boulder County District Attorney Alex Hunter has identified Patsy and John Ramsey, the girl's father, as the focus of the investigation. Investigators search for a possible suspect. Police, however, have investigated several possible suspects in the crime. Authorities eliminated John Andrew and Melinda Ramsey, JonBenet's adult half-siblings, as well as Ramsey family friends, Fleet and Priscilla White, as suspects. 2 Boulder police detectives traveled to Charlotte, North Carolina in April to investigate a man charged with kidnapping and sexually assaulting a 2-year-old girl. John Brewer Udis, 31, of North Carolina, was arrested in Charlotte after he said he entered a local home through a bedroom window, abducted, and raped the girl in late March. Police later ruled out Eustace as a suspect. Detectives interviewed Bill McReynolds, a former University of Colorado journalism professor who portrayed Santa Claus at the Ramsey December 23rd Christmas party, and his wife, Janet. Although authorities collected hair and handwriting samples from the couple in the first few months following the murder, police sources said they did not consider the McReynolds serious suspects. Alright, well anyways, that's where I'm at in my, I got all the way to October. But, man, you guys, we didn't reach the goal again. Not even close. 2 nights in a row. Was it something we're doing here, or is it not? Is the content shitty, or you guys aren't interested, or what's going on? You guys know how important it is, right? Right. Yeah, it just didn't happen, Plato. I mentioned that twice already. I hate just having to mention it, but I'm telling you, I know what it takes each month, and right. When I can remember, the police never really looked much outside of the JonBenét's family. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they did. It seemed like they kind of had tunnel vision. I get why, though. I mean, yeah, I got the ones from Reddit, the floor plans, if that's what you sent. And then I have a whole walkthrough video of the basement. Have all that stuff. Any chance, you guys? I don't know. Oh, yeah, those crime scene pictures, yeah. Welcome, Leah Cash. Yes, and if you buy memberships, it counts too, you guys. So if you buy 7 memberships, somehow amongst you guys, for other people, we'll get to the minimum goal. There's no jerks. I just don't understand. I don't understand what's going on. Nobody's jerks. So. What we're missing are people that used to be bigger supporters. Probably meant freaks. They have a boot print in the basement that didn't match any shoes from her family. Yeah. Thanks, Plato. They meant the right freaks. I was gonna say. Good night. Gotta run, jerks. That's pretty funny. Although I don't really understand how that typo happens. Right, that's the whole thing. Because I'm kind of in a weird place where what I'm covering doesn't get the same support. You guys all wanted me to do it over and over, and oh great, cover Ramsey. But I mean, my channel shouldn't suffer because of it. You know what I mean? So if you like me covering the JonBenet Ramsey case, like Zozo just typed in, I need your guys' support, and we're currently not even close. Again, So if you want me to keep going, I mean, I'm just going to keep going through the months, and then I'm sure there's probably years. No, I know, Dirt My Eye. We can call ourselves the jerks, though, if you want to. Oh, there's Michelle Wood, Allie Cake. All right, let's see. Will we get there? I think we still need, let's see, 30 more. So that means they won't be able to appear. Yeah, I mean, the thing is it could just be that, the person really was going to leave a ransom note, and somehow they weren't able to get her out of there. But it's hard to imagine. Why not take her out anyways and try to trick somebody into giving you the ransom? If that was even real. But they're saying they think the ransom note was false. So why would a killer go into a house to trick people to make it seem like somebody was kidnapped, but then just kill the person downstairs, because that's what their real goal was, but the kidnapping note was... $313 people, you guys. It's 10 cents a piece. We get to the goal. Yeah, I've seen a picture out there. I can't show those pictures on the show, but I could show like there's a plastic version of her skull I've seen. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I thought people were excited to cover it. Everybody was like, hey, come on, let's do it, Gray, let's do it. And I was like, okay. And look, I mean, for people that have been here a long time, we're just, absolutely struggling. And you guys, the income that I bring in on this channel through ad revenue or the super chats, etc., allows me to keep doing the shows. It's like the income to the channel, but then I give away. We gave $49,000 out this last year, this 2024 year. Okay, but this type of show, like if it was like this all the time, every night, I would be able to donate nothing. Okay, because there's a certain point where it sort of breaks even, and that's just the reality. That kind of sucks. That's one of the main things that we do is give to like our DNA fund, our scholarship fund, and it shouldn't be a big struggle at all. I don't know what I lean, like if I was just thinking logically about the logic of this case using Occam's razor, it makes you believe that somebody inside the house that lives there did something, and the ransom note was to trick law enforcement into looking elsewhere. And it worked. I mean, because it was like 8 hours later before somebody... Hey, thanks Vicky White and MKM. That's what would be my... just using Occam's razor. But however... sometimes Occam's razor is wrong, and we've had those cases. I use the one example often. The one I use often is remember the Hispanic lady. She was 18 years old. She was pregnant, had a husband. She was in school, and then you see her leave the school and head away down the street, and then you're thinking, oh man, maybe she left her husband, maybe that her baby isn't even his, and you're kind of coming up with some sort of rational theories because she disappeared. Well, it turns out that she went on Facebook to buy a baby stroller, and she goes over to the house. The lady at the house strangled her to death and cut the baby out of her stomach so that she could have a baby, and then pretended it was her baby when she went to the hospital. Now, there's no way that you would predict that out of a case. Like, you wouldn't... That's not Occam's razor. That's totally outside of that realm. And so, maybe that's happening here. All right, guys, we're 20 away from reaching the minimum goal. If somebody wants to send in 70, then I'll donate 5 memberships myself, because that's the number it takes to get to the goal where I buy the 5 memberships. That's how slow this is. Yeah, that's like the craziest story you've ever heard, right? I mean, it's nuts. It's insane. And thanks, Plato, again, for another cup of coffee. Yeah, you know what's even weirder, you guys? Want to hear something even weirder in that case? Is during the search for her, a baby born alive was placed on top of a garbage can, or I think on a garbage can or something, or brought to the fire department, and it wasn't that baby. So you got this missing pregnant woman who's due any time now, and then this baby shows up, and it wasn't even hers. It was just some other random baby. So at the time, everybody was like, oh my God, that's got to be your kid then. So where's her? Where's she? Oh, it's not even hers. Okay, there's Karen. 13 more, you guys. Can we do it? It's like 1 cent a person. Jesus, you guys. I don't know who Lou Smith is. I can tell you, though, the JonBenet Ramsey case has everybody's on sides, you know. And everybody's so sure they're on each side. So how can all of you be so sure when you're on completely opposite sides? No, yeah, he's the guy that says that it was an intruder, etc. Yeah, I've seen that guy, you know. He's got tunnel vision, too. Yeah. Everybody does now, after all those years. Yep. He's the intruder theory guy. I guess apparently one of these days we'll probably look at what he said. Remember how easy when I'd say, hey guys, we're 13 short, you guys would just do it? You know, it'd be like we get there and we move on. Why is it such a struggle right now? Is it like you're just not interested in what we're doing, or what, you guys? I don't get it. I can't play the interviews on here on YouTube. If we can find I mean, I have this Plato gave me like a link that had a whole bunch of different links on it from different sources, so maybe that exists out there. I just said what I thought. Mm-hmm. $13 more to go, you guys. 13 more to go. Why, if there was enough DNA to do genealogy, they would have already done it. You can't do genealogy on. Yeah, look at. Thanks, Karen. I'm not sure why you were the only one that thought, oh man, I can help do this. I mean, everybody that's helped tonight, that has helped, is part of it, but it's always the same people. We need more people to. Man, it's brutal. Hey, thanks, Karen. There we go. Yeah, well, they said that they found a trace DNA on her underwear, and they said it could just be from the person in the factory where they processed it. Something like that, or wasn't it diapers or something? I don't even remember now. let's see. As far as those, yeah. So I think that's important for me to just make a bunch of videos now, because that doesn't rely on anybody. It's just ad revenue, and if they're good enough where people watch them, you can do almost the same as you do on a show, but not generally. Usually if you get like 7,000 or 8,000 views, you might make $90 or something. So it sort of augments. But now we're into tax season. Christmas just was here, and then taxes coming up, and it's just, that's in April, but everyone just keeps saying that over and over again. The mafia, give me a break. But thanks everybody for reaching that minimum goal that we had. At least we got a goal of some sort. Yeah, well, sadly this month, just now I had to pay my entire taxes for this season, and that whole last month of work that we just did all went to taxes. It actually didn't make as much as the taxes I had to pay. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, I just got mine in. I just paid my taxes for the fourth quarter last night. It was, it wasn't not fun. I think in the JonBenet Ramsey case, they need to take every single piece of evidence and send it to a place like, I don't know, I mean, not one of the labs out there that can get really just incredible DNA extraction from items, like for example the garrote, so I mean that would be the main item, like a garrote, her clothing somebody probably touched, but maybe they wore gloves. Well, it just means that they don't want to do it for some reason. Or they've already tested it privately and there's nothing. Or they contaminated it and they know it and they don't want to have people know that. That kind tax will turn people into Republicans. Now, I live in Oregon, so we have Oregon tax, we've got state tax, and then we got all these little weird taxes that you don't even know you have to pay, but you have to go on his website, and it's like, oh yeah, well, if you're art tax, what a joke. Jesus. I mean, I and why do I have to pay taxes for kids that are in preschool somewhere else? Boulder PD is crazy. Huh. Right. I did mine yesterday too, Plato. Like after the show, late at night, I basically paid 1,000 more in taxes than I that I made last month. How shitty is that? That means even when, I have to wait until the 24th to even recoup a portion of that. Just blows, because you have a couple good months that are then followed by a crappy one like last month was, then it sort of makes it tough, especially if it's the third month. I guess what I should do is save the same percentage out of each quarter, then it's not a big deal. That's what a smart person would do. But yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well, anyways, I don't know. We're also kind of missing some of the people, like the cat eye donations. When people do the cat eye donations, it makes such a big difference because that's equivalent to the 25 people sending in the $2 or 10 people doing fives. It's like, and those aren't, and even 20 makes a difference. But I don't know if we even had 120 tonight or one cat eye donation, which makes it really difficult. Yeah. Well, the thing is I don't know. Maybe the economy isn't the same now, Therese. But I mean, I don't know. It just depends on the cases, right? Like when the trial was going on in Delphi, I did pretty well every single day. When we were doing an Idaho 4 case, I did well. But there's nothing going on right now where people are excited to support the channel. That's kind of what it comes down to. When it's like a really big case and people want to put their comment, because really what super chats are for, people to put comments out to read, and then we can talk about what they're saying. And more people do that when it's a big happening case. Yeah, well, the economy still hasn't had the chance to flip around because, it's the same administration still in there. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw it today. Did you guys see that Hillary Clinton got a Medal of Freedom? I mean, even Democrats in here, do you guys think that's appropriate? And then George Soros, an absolute barbarian of a person, he got one. Right? That was shocking. Denzel Washington got one. I'm not sure what he's done for humanity. He's a great actor, for sure. I like him. Bono's in there. He's done a lot of humanitarian stuff. And then Mitt Romney's father got one, but I guarantee you that was the same deal they cut with Dick Cheney's, Elizabeth Cheney, because she got something like that, right? A Medal of Freedom. And so all of a sudden Mitt Romney's father got something. Like, hey, here's your little homage for doing your January 6th part. Yeah. Ridiculous. Yeah, the Soros thing is almost unbelievable. Yeah, it's just, wow. Crazy. Now, what did Elizabeth Cheney just win? Did she also get one of those? No, she got a citizen's medal, whatever the hell that is. So it wasn't the Medal of Freedom, it was citizen's medal. So then Romney's was, hey, we'll give your dad posthumously the Medal of Freedom. I don't know if Denzel does or not. It didn't bother me. Like Denzel, shit, he might. Let's see. Yeah. Denzel has spent time visiting wounded soldiers and Fisher houses, hospitals, which provide housing for injured soldiers. Yeah, it looks like he supports a lot of charities. I don't know. He just isn't really out there as much as some other ones. He gave Biden a big hug. It's really sad. I got to tell you, it was really sad to see. Like, they gave one to Michael J. Fox up there for, a lot of stuff he's been doing on Parkinson's. But, man, he's just... I'm not sure what it feels like in his own mind to be like that. But he's just always, just all over the place, moving around with his Parkinson's. And, I'm not sure how. What I wonder what he feels like. I bet you he thinks exactly the same as he always did, but his body and mind won't. I bet his body won't let him act that way. I bet you his mind is exactly the same as it always has. Like if you could just sort of take what he was thinking and put it onto a voice, it would sound just like he always did. That it is, Plato. I felt bad for him. He had to have somebody help him over there, and he just kept moving and moving and moving all over the place and looking around. And I don't know, I felt bad. He probably doesn't want people to feel bad. But that is horrible. So, do you guys want me to keep going through more months and just sort of see, I try to find things that are different, I hope tonight's show I thought it was pretty interesting. There are some documents that I found. What's this one? Hold on. Ramsey warrants go public. Oh, that made it to the wrong folder. That's why I was missing something. So here's one by Greg McCrary, profiling the case, So that might be something to go through. Like we've got that, right? And then here's one of the warrants. Like maybe we can just go through this one. Or maybe we just do it tomorrow, but God, it's so blurry. If I zoom out a little bit. Yeah, you can see it better. Oh yeah, this is the warrant that I was talking about. This is on what's the date? See, this might be interesting to read this. It even has the notes on it. So this might be pretty much this is December 26th. All right, so you want to go over this one tomorrow? Unless, of course, there's something breaking news. I'll tell you what, you guys. I'm going to give away 5 memberships, even though we're way... like not even close. Just for, people hanging in there, trying to help out. I mean, it's really kind of dumb, but what the hell. Here we go. All right, there we go. We only made it to 80% of where I would normally be to do that, but figured since there's some new people, maybe they would want one. Riker, Debbie Tankersley, Lori Adams, Realtor Rachel, and Nikki's News on Narcissism. Okay. Narcissism is the most overused diagnosis that people try to attribute to people I've ever seen. Old Rachel? I don't know who's Rachel. I don't know who that is. When you say old Rachel, who's that? Mm-hmm. What did Lucy Jones ask? Yeah, that's like 20. I mean, 37 AU's like $20 an hour. And that's, I don't know, I bet you that's not like what you get if you worked at McDonald's. Yeah, it's $22.94 an hour. 37 is. So 37 AU is $22.94, which is, that's kind of, my son makes like, he's currently still working at Albertsons. Yeah, I think he makes 20 something, 20, like just right at the low, like 20, Okay, so 24 would be, let's see what that is. But hey, guys, if you're out there and you still want to support the channel during this conversation, that'd be great too. You never know. Yeah, it's $14.88 an hour. Yeah, like Oregon minimum, Washington minimum wage is like 18 an hour. So it's even, Australia is less than that. Here's what I believe, though. I think if you are in a job that gets tips, you shouldn't make minimum wage, like in terms of $15 or $18 an hour. You should have a minimum wage for tipped employees. Like maybe you make $8 an hour, and your tips blow that out of the water. I mean, it's not even close. Like we have a restaurant here called El Gaucho's, and the waiters in that place make $500, $600, $700, $800 a night. They would pay you to work there. As a matter of fact, that's what I would do with them. I'd say, listen, you're a contractor. You pay us if you want to be a waiter here. You pay us $10 a night, and you go in there and you're a waiter. And you'll make $500. Okay, so, and they would all do it. Instead, no, you got to pay them $18 an hour, and then it just sort of screws over the company. Especially small little restaurants and bars, that have, they might get during their happy hour 20 people in there. Maybe there's like 8 lingering around before that and stuff like that. They can't afford to pay $18 an hour. And if they have to pay $18 an hour, they'll fire 1 or 2 of the people that were, let's say you had 4 waiters working there. They're going to fire the other 2 because they can't afford to pay all of those people. You could have had all, 2 or 3 in there at a time when it's $9 an hour, and then they make their money in tips. They bring in $120 a night or something at those smaller places, and they did really well per hour, way more. So, what does victim of the worm got to do with what we're saying? I don't get it. Let's see. Yeah. Well, yeah, especially if you have to pay the $18 an hour and you have to have a certain amount of servers because it won't work, then you have to raise the prices on everybody in there to make the same amount of money that you were making before. I don't think anybody who starts their own business has to be a martyr. Like you shouldn't have to be, well, I'm going to make way less money now so that this other person gets, it just doesn't make any sense. That's not how it works in a capitalistic society. But what I would do, like I was saying before, is if I was like what Trump's going to do, is lower corporate taxes and everybody's taxes. It's not just corporate taxes, right? Like the tax cuts that we have were supposed to expire, but they're not going to now. And he's going to lower corporate taxes. But what I would put into the corporate tax reduction is a forced trickle down. So it usually does trickle down. It does work, by the way. People say, oh, no, it doesn't. It does. Trickle down does work, everybody. But what if you forced it to? So, like, let's say you're at 20% corporate taxes, and now you cut it to 10, but you tell them that out of the 10% you're saving, you have to use 5% of that to hire new people, and perhaps even raise, like 3% of that to hire new people, and then 2% is used to maybe increase wages for some of your non-managerial people. I think that's what would be, that would be amazing. Because, you know, those companies that make billions of dollars, you know, $2 billion, and then 10% of 2 billion, of let's just say 10% of a billion is $100 million, right? So now if you're saving them, then they have to spend 5, so it'd be $50 million on new salaries. Shit, you could hire so many people, it would be insane. Of course, nobody heard what I just said. Anyways, I gotta go, you guys. You always you lose a room when there isn't one comment related to what you're talking about. So I am going to get the hell out of here. All right. So thank you to let's see, it's just Bella Gifted 5. We started off so well. We had it's just Bella Gifted 5, then Sword Destined 5, and then, you know, right out of the gate we were kind of at a quarter, and then it just went a Blank Slate, Texas Girl 17 months, then Kit Kat, Little Puppy Paws 99, Dirt in My Eye, Alley Cake, Michelle H, Alley Cake. Yeah, this thing is not moving very good. I'm not sure how to do it. It's about ready to collapse, I think. Let me just refresh it. Jesus, what's going on with this? Alright. Texas Girl. I think we were at Texas Girl, Kit Kat, Little Puppy Paws, Dirt in My Eye, Alley Cake. Hey, thanks, Jim Lon. At the buzzer there. Michelle H, Kit Kat, James Long, Richard Watts, Tacey Martinek, D. M. Wan, Sunshine Susie, Michelle Wood, Linda Howell, Kathy Fredenmaker, Leah Cash, Lisa Taylor, Critical Tinker, Vicky White, Allie Cake, Georgina Stoliker, Jessica Schubach, Lisa Taylor, Karen, Leah Cash, new member, Michelle Wood, Allie Cake, Vicky White, MKM, Karen, then I Gifted 5, and then Jim Long. And we also had Jim Long, Sandy Shirley, Jet, Michelle, Karen, Sunshine Susie, and then Plato. Twice bought me coffees. So there you go. Yeah, people just are like messaging me during my JonBenet trying to influence my thoughts. Just let me do it, okay? I'll do it my own way, and well, whatever I think, I think. I don't need to hear every, we'll cover it over a while. We'll probably read some of what the experts say out there, etc. All right? We'll see how it goes. But don't try to influence me on the side. I'm just going to do it how I want to do it. Who are you talking to, Cindy? You weren't the one I was talking about. All right. Well, anyways, thanks everybody. Appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully tomorrow we can do a little bit better. See how it goes. But thank you. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. And a 1 and a 2. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is
not even one. Like a detector, I'm a certified human lie detector. I'm gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector. Yeah, I'm always gonna be a pop protector, full of factor, interceptor. And I mean a spectre with a vector on his vector without a spectrum. Just remember, injection.
I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender.
By the way, that's Lori Daybell. For those of you out here, that's Lori Daybell dancing. All right. And be safe out